everybody, this is pretty exciting. This is going to be my first YouTube makeup tutorial, and I'm going to be teaching you my go-to summer look. And this is just, I'm kind of starting to experiment with uploading YouTube videos, and if this happens to go well, then I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah, thanks for watching. So first I'm going to be using tape and putting that along my eyes just as a stencil for my eyeliner and my eyeshadow. Now I'm going to be taking my Urban Decay primer potion and applying this to my lids. And then using my pinkies, I'm just going to blend that out up to my brow bone. Next, using the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette, I'm going to be taking a fluffy brush into the color Bay and just using this as a base color all over my lid. Once I have a nice base on, I'm going to be taking a small blending brush and going into the color Sandalwood, and this is going to be used all in my crease. And I'm just going to keep blending that color in until I get the desired pigment and until it looks how I want it to look. Next, using the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette, I'm going into the color Charm and blending this right above my crease. And I am just going to keep blending this out until it is even and smooth. And yes, I do keep my brushes in my mouth because I'm switching over to a fluffier brush to do some more blending. And now that I think I've blended this out enough, I'm going to be taking Dominatrix from the Androgyny palette and blending it into the outer corner of my lid. And then I'm switching over to a more dense packing brush because we really want this part of the eye to be dark and dramatic. And now that Dominatrix is packed onto my outer corner, I'm going to be going back in with a blending brush and bringing this back into my crease to add more shadows. And now I'm just going to be continuing to blend my life away until I reach my desired eye look. Now I'm going back to the fluffy brush that I started with, and I'm going back into the color Bay from the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm just blending this all above all the eyeshadow that I just applied to give it a nice even blend. And finally, my favorite part, I'm taking the color Frosting from the Androgyny palette on my finger because I feel like you can get the best pigment from your finger, and I'm just applying this shimmery tone all over my lid. And once again, just for good measure, I am taking my blending brush again and just blending this all out. And now going into my eyeliner pen thing from Sephora, I am just going to line my eyes and do a nice little wing. Then on to my next eye, just hoping that they both turn out even. Then after a little touch up, now that my wings look slightly even, I'm going to be taking the tape off of my eyes, and my eyes are basically done. At this point, you're going to want to do your regular brow routine. Mine is nothing too fancy. I'm just using 2 brown shades from an old Sephora palette of mine. And once you're done with brows, we're moving right on to the face. First, I'm taking my NYX Photo Loving Primer and applying this all over my face. Next, using my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation, I am going to be putting this all over my face using a small foundation brush and just putting blobs all over. For summertime, I absolutely love this foundation because it does not feel heavy, it's very light coverage, and I just feel like it's a perfect fit for summertime. Now I'm just going to be using a large oval brush just to do some extra blending until all of that foundation is blended in. Now I'm going in with my Kat Von D Lock It Concealer and applying this underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to be taking a damp beauty blender and beginning to blend all of that out. Once everything is blended into my face, I am going to be using a large fluffy brush and just using a setting powder all over. And then you have me being very professional and knocking my camera down. I fixed it a little bit, but it's kind of weird now, but it still works. Now I'm going to be using a translucent powder on a small beauty blender and just putting this underneath my eyes to bake my face. And I'm just going to let that powder sit there while I take a small angled brush and work on the under part of my eyes. First, I'm taking Dominatrix and applying this to the outer third of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to be taking Charm again and applying this to the rest of my lower lash line. Now that the translucent powder has had some time to sit, I'm just taking a brush and brushing all the excess off of my face. Now I'm diving into the Cheek Parade palette by Benefit and going into the color Hula using the brush that it came with, and I'm just using this to contour my cheeks. Next, I'm taking a slightly smaller oval brush and going into Hoola Light and using this on my temples and my forehead just to bronze up my face a little bit. Then just taking a small contouring brush and going back into Hoola Light just to kind of even out my cheek contour. And then for blush, I'm using the shade California. I feel like this is a perfect summer shade, and I'm just applying this to the apples of my cheeks. Now taking my eyelash curler, I'm just going to be curling up my lashes and preparing them for mascara. Then taking the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara, I'm just applying this to my upper and lower lashes. And then just to make sure that I get all of the clumps out, I'm taking a clean mascara brush and just brushing through my lashes. Next, using my Marc Jacobs eye pencil, I'm just going to be putting this into my waterline. Then onto the best part, the highlighting. I'm using the Jeffree Star and Manny MUA collab in the shade Eclipse, and I'm just piling this up on my cheekbones because I love highlight. I'm also adding a generous amount to the bridge of my nose and my Cupid's bow. Then taking a flat and dense brush, I am going back into Eclipse and highlighting my brow bone. Now when it comes to summer looks, my favorite lipsticks to use is anything orange, and today I'm going to be using Jeffree Star's Anna Nicole and just applying this to my lips. And that's the final look. Thanks for watching.